now that I've prefaced that, I went about 7 months of going to doctors, specialists, hospitals, being told that it was all in my head and being constantly turned away. And when I asked that they give me certain medical exams, I got scoffed at because, I didn't have the schooling. And it turned out that in September of 2016, I was not feeling well going into a weekend. And at that point, I had already been to at a certain hospital in the area, not Memorial Sloan Kettering or any of the
That's
one.
the best. So Memorial Sloan is the best.
Oh, they're
Top
the
notch.
best.
Top
That's why
notch.
that's why I got my tattoo for them right there. So, but no, I
That's awesome.
I almost slipped and said the name of the hospital that dropped the ball big time. But I'm glad I caught myself because I don't feel like getting a letter in the mail.
That wouldn't be good for me either.
Yeah, no. I wouldn't want to have to bail us both out for my big mouth. But I kept going to this particular hospital, and I went there on a Friday night, and I had told them, look, I've been vomiting, I've been dizzy, I've been having, all sorts of aches and pains all over my body. I'm having a difficult time thinking. And they just told me I was drunk and I needed to go home. And I said, well, that's funny because I don't drink. So what can you do for me? Oh, well, we'll give you some IV fluid. And I said, well, I keep coming here and that's all you offer me, but I'm telling you something is wrong with me. And their response was they tried to place me on a psych hold because they thought that I was some sort of disorder where I was conjuring this up. So I left the hospital, uh, went over to my parents' house that lived a mile down the road from me, and I said I need to stay with you guys. Something just isn't adding up. And lo and behold, 2 days later, I wound up having a massive stroke on my parents' living room floor, and it was caused by a golf ball-sized brain tumor in my cerebellum.
Wow.
So I was very, once again, fortunate to have my cell phone in my pocket and I was able to mash the buttons. And my dad, for some reason, it dialed my dad. And hey, oof. So, it dialed him. And thankfully, with my father's training and wherewithal from being a police officer, he knew that there was not a lot of time to spare. He said he knew at this point something seriously was wrong with me, and he just dragged me to his car and put me in his car and sped to the hospital because he knew he couldn't wait for an ambulance. And they got me there, and they proceeded to tell me again nothing was wrong, and I had to argue. Yeah, while I was suffering from Bell's palsy in the middle of my stroke, I had to tell them to give me a fill in the blank CT scan. And 6 seconds in, they finally said, stroke team. And that's when I first learned that I had that golf ball sized tumor in my cerebellum.
Shit.
So joke was on them. They were right. It was in my head, but not the way that they said it was. So I spent about a week in the hospital getting stabilized, blood transfusions, and